We know that real-time payments are disrupting the payments landscape globally, and the Netherlands is a perfect example of this process in action. For example, traditionally a debit card-friendly country, the introduction of a real-time payments option created a welcome alternative to credit cards.
So the Dutch market is historically not a credit card-oriented market, but a debit card-oriented market.
Instant payments hold the promise to become an alternative infrastructure for card payments, for instance, at the point of sale.
We take a look at how the introduction of real-time payments has changed the game to the consumer's advantage. The Netherlands has had a real-time payments head start on Europe and much of the rest of the world in both P2P and e-commerce. It has put the country ahead of its peers in terms of adoption and industry innovation, created a roadmap for other nations to follow, and helped shape cross-border European payments legislation and regulation.
So real-time payments and instant payments in the Netherlands started already many years ago, and the success of that was positioned as the new normal.
It was a case of revolution rather than evolution, a conscious decision by government to speed up the adoption of a more efficient payments infrastructure that suited the unique Dutch environment.
In the Netherlands, the starting point for instant payments probably was different from most other countries. There was a lot of political pressure already, let's say 2012, 2013, and under this pressure, the banks collectively decided to start an instant payments project.
The use case in the Netherlands is mainly a strategic one and based on efficiency. Our payment system is very efficient and cost efficient, and real-time payments is the next step.
By 2019, the first stage of the project was complete, creating the conditions needed for the growth of Ideal, now the dominant e-commerce payments mechanism. A key aspect of the market that created a need for a system like Ideal was the low usage levels of credit cards, a reflection of Dutch citizens' dislike of card-based borrowing.
Ideal is a very popular payments method for e-commerce payments in the Netherlands. It has about a 72% market share in all e-commerce payments. We are not a credit card country, but it's account-to-account based. Ideal provides a real-time payment guarantee to the merchant.
And the success of Ideal is rooted in the fact that it is seamlessly integrated with existing banking apps and delivers tangible advantages to both businesses and consumers.
So if we look at the payment ecosystem in the Netherlands, a long time ago we started with Ideal, which is for e-commerce. And the success of Ideal is based on three foundations. One is convenience, of course, trust and speed. So trust comes from the fact that Ideal leverages the authentication of the bank's mobile banking application and online banking application. So the authentication is always secure.
Widely used alongside Ideal is Tiki, an ABN AMRO P2P app that processes end-to-end payments in 5 seconds or less. It's particularly popular for splitting payments between groups of people, sent, for instance, via WhatsApp, and for transactions with smaller e-commerce businesses that can simply send out a request to pay, colloquially known as a Tiki.
The name Tiki is basically the Dutch word for playing tag. Playing tag is a child's game, it's really easy, so Tiki is made it really easy for consumers to do a payment. You tag someone and your payment is done, secure and easy.
Tiki is a very popular P2P payment method in the Netherlands, about 300 to 400 million P2P payments per annum. Actually, Tiki is an overlay over Ideal, so the actual payment is through the Ideal protocol.
While the first iteration of Ideal has delivered many of the benefits of real-time payments to users, speed, efficiency, and user confidence, the next stage of its evolution will deliver a true real-time payments experience.
Currently, a project is underway which is called Ideal 2.0. It will add a lot of new functionality to Ideal, provide better customer journeys, and of course also Ideal will change over to instant payments.
Real-time payment rails will allow the ongoing development of the payments landscape to accelerate and diversify. widening the scope for financial institutions to shift away from legacy systems to real-time settlement of a wider cross-section of payment types.
So what you will see in the Dutch market is an increase of use of instant payments rails. More batch transactions like direct debits will move over to the instant payments rails. Ideal, I expect over time to move over to the instant rails. So we see continuous growth on instant payments in the Dutch market.
And this shift will drive innovation as well as modernization.
New alternative payments or fintech originated payments will land on the rails. For example, Tiki or request to pay or QR code payments, they will all land on the new rails. So the rails itself is the foundation for innovation in the Dutch market.
Much of the drive in the Netherlands to create a true real-time payments environment has come from government-led initiatives supported by advances in technology from companies like ACI working with banks. But another powerful influence is a push for greater cross-border harmonization within Europe.
Recently, the European Commission published their proposals for an instant payments regulation. This means that instant payments will become mandatory across Europe, first in the Eurozone and then outside of the Eurozone. And there cannot be any price difference between an instant payment or a regular payment.
In many respects, the Netherlands is more advanced in terms of its adoption of real-time payment solutions. So the impact of new directives, such as the ERPB's SCT Inst, will be different to that of many other countries.
It's a bit hard to say what the next step in instant payments will be in the Netherlands, since we are a little bit ahead of the pack compared to the rest of Europe. So there's a little bit a first mover's dilemma. We already have instant as the new normal, and first we will see the new use cases at the point of sale developed based on, let's say, QR codes and instant payment. But first the rest of Europe needs to get at par where we already are.
Much of what the new European regulations are mandating is already present and tried and tested in the Netherlands.
So the initiatives by Europe to introduce SEPA Inst and Request to Pay will not have much effect on the Dutch market because it's already been here. It's already the new normal, having instant payments. Request to Pay is also nothing new for the Dutch market. We have it with Tiki as a person-to-person Request to Pay or Share to Pay. Or even push to pay. So we have these capabilities already embedded in the Dutch market.
However, real-time payments are not the complete story. There is still healthy investment in the card rail as well. A good example is public transport, where debit card payment at the train turnstile is due to debut. Being contactless, it requires no new physical infrastructure, and it is much more user-friendly than the existing prepayment option.
And the next step in the evolution is to move Maestro and VPay, for that sense, to MasterCard, Visa and Visa Debit. So that's a natural evolution of the debit cards in the Netherlands. It will allow e-commerce transactions, and with that sense it will compete with Ideal. Now, as the market is growing in itself, the whole electronic market, I expect both to be growing massively.